Welcome to Back on the Broomstick,
a modern witch's spoken word grimoire,
where two witchy friends from way back are reconnecting to their pagan roots after a long period of mundanity.
We're rewalking the path of the wise and trying out all the latest spells, rituals, and magical theory in today's witchcraft and pagan practices.
So grab your wand and your incense,
your cauldron and your crystals,
and join us
as we get
Back on the Broomstick.
Hi, and welcome to Back on the Broomstick Wrapped.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm Layla, and on this episode, we're going to be recapping our favorite things of 2025 and going over what we're looking forward to and what our hopes are for 2026.
And I'm Chelle, and I've got one thing to say. Where the hell did 2025 go? Because didn't it start 3 months ago?
Yes, it did. I'm pretty sure that it was just a couple days ago. We were frantically going over our notes, finishing up our details for the things we wanted to present at Sacred Space coming up in a few months. And we were excited about workshops at Brushwood, presentations, Pagan Pride, all the things. We were very excited for 2025, and we had a lot of stuff going on. So I'm not surprised it went by fast.
Yeah, maybe that's why it flew by, because we've been busy girls.
Yeah, we have. And there have been some
But
big
we have
things.
favorites.
We do. We have some favorite things, favorite spells, favorite episodes, favorite magical goings on that happened in 2025. So I thought we could talk about it, do a little what worked, what didn't work, what did we like or not like in 2025, and talk about some of our dreams, our hopes, our goals and aspirations for 2026.
I am going to say something to you that is going to shock you so much. I am looking forward to more tarot in 2026.
You're right. I am completely jaw on the floor, flabbergasted. My gasps have been flabbered.
I just got to tell everybody, we joke about me and my tarot addiction, but sometimes I just can't stop myself. Like, I really just can't stop myself.
Oh, really? Maybe recently with a little bit of a tarot purchasing binge. And yes, I did just throw you under the tarot bus.
Why? You make it sound bad. It's good.
So you started off with one deck because one of our favorite beloved stores is going out of business, and you got one fabulous deck from there. But that just kind of fed the addiction, and you got how many more after that?
I blame my parents for giving me money for Christmas. Just saying that. It's my parents' fault. I got 4 decks in
just 4.
The last 7 days. Yeah.
I'm impressed with your restraint.
If you count what I was gifted by my daughter for Christmas, we're talking 5 decks in the last 12 days. I have no regrets. I'll die on this hill. It's okay.
Now, we have had a request, and I know I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but talking about all of your wonderful, glorious tarot decks that, as your bestie, I do get to play with. It is a wonderful perk, I have to say. But some of our listeners have requested, and we have decided to give in to them, kind of doing a review of Chelle's massive pile, dragon hoard, if you will, of tarot decks. I'm kind of looking forward to diving into that in 2026.
Yeah, that'll be a 100-episode series just to get through them all. Lord, you got a minute? Grab a sandwich and some tea, because this will take a minute.
Seriously. To be honest, one of the things I'm kind of looking forward to is looking into all of these boxes and just quick going through and grabbing like my favorite 5. The first 5 that jump out at me is I think what I want to do for the first episode. We'll just go through and see what calls to us right then in the moment, because I know you've got some pretty cool looking
You mean
decks.
I can only pick 5?
For the first episode. Restraint for the first episode. I'm going to be like, all right, Chelle, pick 5. And I'm going to turn around and you'll have 25 in your hand.
I'll be like, here's my 5, but here's my backup 10.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how they're all going to go.
But yes, we definitely are going to do some tarot reviews, but I do want to preface it with, I have a lot, and it's going to take me a minute to organize this process. So it's not going to be the next episode, but wait for it. It's going to be coming.
Since we've covered a little bit of tarot and future 2026 things, let's start this 2025 retrospective with some of our favorite episodes.
Okay, we always start a year off right, let me tell you. So my favorite episode number 1 is going to be episode 98, We did that last January. It was one of our very first episodes in 2025. And it was when we dove into the whole debate, our wands air and our swords fire. I love a good debate to begin with, but the reason that made one of my top favorite episodes lists is because I really enjoyed the discussion that it sparked on our Facebook group. And first of all, I applaud everybody because nothing got mean or ugly or out of hand, and everybody was wonderful. But I liked how everybody kind of shared their different view in a this is how I feel and why kind of way. And I really liked seeing people's different perspectives on why on earth they would put swords with air. I disagree wholeheartedly, but I appreciated their viewpoint.
I really enjoyed that as well. That episode, episode 98, the Tarot's Elemental Debate, really did spark a wonderful conversation on our Facebook group, back on the Broomstick discussion group, which is a phenomenal group of witches run by the fantastic Helen Jojo.
Love her.
She's amazing, absolutely. And this is just a great group of witches. They're crafty, they're smart, they have really good input. And, like you said, Chelle, one of the fabulous things is it's a very supportive group. Even if there are differing opinions, like you and I have differing opinions sometimes, there's no reason to fight about it. But sharing those ideas and sharing that knowledge is something that group does great.
And that's exactly what this thread was. Everybody was wonderful, even if they weren't on the same side of that coin. And I just thought it was a great solid episode, a great conversation, a great topic, and it sparked a lot of great thoughtfulness with our listeners. So yeah, that was definitely one of my faves this year. And who doesn't like starting the year with tarot talk?
My favorite episodes are in no particular order, but this one does happen to be right around the same time. This came out right after our second year anniversary. This was our 100th anniversary special. Curses and Cryptids with Stoned Witches on a Broomstick.
All right, I got to tell you that this was also in my top 5 list. So the only reason I have an order is because I went from like January down and kind of went over what we did. But the 100th episode, I loved it. Everybody loved it. The fans loved it. I think that was one of our most commented on.
You are correct. That episode was our top most commented on episode of 2025.
You know why? Because everybody likes cryptids. That's why.
There was a lot of good stuff in that. Not only
wasn't it a lady in white?
Not a lady in white that time. For that episode, I covered a cursed socialite and her haunted apartment in San Francisco, California. But I do love a good lady in white ghost story. They are fun and spooky, and they're everywhere.
And we were probably smoking good weed that night, too.
We were. And I loved this episode because not only was it fun to research, and I always love learning about ghost stories and hearing your cryptid tales, but that was a pretty freaking funny cryptid tale. So I had a blast doing the episode. And then afterwards, just hearing everyone's different stories, their local cryptid stories, the curses and haunted locations they've heard of. It was just a lot of fun. And it is one of our top listened to episodes. Anything that allows us to return to our roots, the Stoned Witches Hour, is something that I'm probably going to enjoy.
Yeah, I agree with every single thing. And again, I think some of the conversations that sparked with our listeners in the discussion group was just fabulous. I'm going to bounce ahead a little bit. I am going to episode 134, similar to a topic in episode 100. 134, let's go to Fallbrook. This was you and I ghost hunting.
I had so much fun ghost hunting at Fallbrook. First of all, we got to bring the creepy Ouija board that one of our listeners gave us at Pagan Pride, which Pagan Pride was one of my favorite times of 2025. So yeah, we got to bring a creepy Ouija board that a listener gave us to Fallbrook, and it was a spooky good time. So tell me why it was your favorite.
Honestly, it was my favorite because you and I haven't done a good ghost hunt in a lot of years, and it was just fun to be out in the creepy woods doing stupid shit with you. I'm not gonna lie, and not to mention that is a very haunted place. When we did that in the Stoned Witches Hour, that was just kind of talking about past experience as well as research Whereas this episode was like, oh my God, we were just there. We have audio, we have video, and we were there, and we were there together. So that is kind of what made it kick ass because it was like a you and I going on a field trip episode.
That's the episode that really got the itch for me to want us to try more on-site adventures in 2026. Not just workshops and events like Pagan Pride Day, but you and I going to supernatural locations.
Getting up to our shenanigans, man.
Exactly. And being there, and not just haunted locations, but all sorts of paranormal locations, but going there in person and doing some research at the location. So I'm hoping to do more of that in 2026.
My mother used to always say, be like, oh, hey, can you watch the kids for the weekend? Because I'm going to go camping with Layla. And she'd be like, oh, God, I don't even want to know what you two are up to.
No good. That's what we're up to.
Yeah, like back to that. We need to get back to that more often.
Okay, I'm down. I'm putting it on the calendar right now.
All right, what was your next fave?
All right, it's funny because my next one is one right before that episode, and that is Solarium 13. Salem, streets too witchy, hotel too haunted.
Why are you taking my list of stuff, you jerk?
Because the good ones were the good ones for a reason. I had a blast.
This was all your idea. I will give you 100% credit for this. And when you brought this to me, I was like, but doesn't that sound mean? I'm like, what do you mean we're going to do like 1-star reviews? Like I felt guilty, and then I don't think I've laughed so hard. I literally don't. I don't think I've laughed so hard in my life. That was hysterical.
I did completely rip that idea off from Beach Too Sandy, Water Too Wet, which is a phenomenal, funny podcast where a brother-sister duo read 1-star reviews. So we kind of copied it from there. But I did all the research for the 1-star reviews in Salem.
Hysterical.
Yeah. And rather than picking on the places, most of the places did not deserve those 1-star reviews. So it was more fun and having a good time than mean-spirited.
I just laughed. I just laughed because it wasn't even about the places. It was about people write this stuff.
Right. Not only did I have fun recording that episode with you because it was hilarious, but we love downtown Salem. As commercial as it is, these are locally owned shops.
They're my peeps, man.
Yeah, these are witches and magical people. Most of them are just cool, interesting, unusual, fun, fabulous people. And I loved being able to highlight some of our favorite shops and to talk about some of the favorite places that we like to go.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that right now because the place that you and I catalog ordered from in the early 90s and late 80s, Pyramid Catalog. The Pyramid store is going out, and I'm heartbroken.
Yeah, I am
but
too.
Damn it, I got a tarot deck for 40% off, and I loved it.
I am hopefully going to make it out there before Pyramid Bookstore closes its doors, which will be at the end of January this year.
Heartbreaking.
Absolutely heartbreaking. And you're right. Their catalog was one of my first lifelines to any type of witchy tools. There were no local stores when I first started. I couldn't find anything. There certainly wasn't something you could find in a catalog, and there was no online. The pentacle I wear all the time. The second time I ever went to Salem, my brother bought that for me from the Pyramid Bookstore.
And I can remember it like it was yesterday. I lived in an old church, and you showed up at my house one day, and you're like, look at this catalog. Yeah. And the very first thing I ordered was an athame, to which I still have to this day. And geez, that was like in 1996. So this is an end of an era, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Pyramid Bookstore, for everything that you've done for us. Thank you for your service to witches and pagans and magical souls everywhere. You'll be missed.
All right, so let's go back to the things we love.
Listeners also had episodes that they loved. Number 3 in most listened to episodes of 2025 was episode number 126, Earth Energy, Rooted in Magic.
You know, I do have to say, I did pick out 5 things episode-wise that were my favorites. And even though you stole 2 of them, you psychic creep, get out of my head.
We just like the same things.
The last one that I loved was the Elemental series. We had a lot of fun doing it. The listeners loved it. I just thought I'm glad that that was like one of the top listened to things was part of that series because
Me
I'm
too.
very proud of us for
Well, then you're going to love the second most listened to episode.
that. Let me guess. Okay, hold on. I'm going with water.
Close. No, it was a different series. This was episode
Oh,
121, the Spellcrafting series, part one, Correspondences.
ah, see, that was a good one too. I
That
liked
was.
that one.
I loved that series. That was an excellent series. Those two series, and now our current series that we haven't quite finished yet, but the Deity series are very popular. They get mentioned a lot on social media when people are looking for information.
Ironic, we love them too.
And the number one
I'm gonna go with 100th episode, 100th episode, 100th episode.
most listened to episode was episode 135, Samhain and Celebrating Your Shadow.
Oh,
That was
didn't
the
realize
most
everybody
listened
was
to,
like jumping for shadow work.
right? And considering that these were all middle or late of the year episodes, they were very popular to be the first, second, third most listened to of the year.
Nice.
So the 100th episode did get the most comments, and the favorite interview of the year, the favorite person, most listened to interview episode, was also like the fifth or sixth most listened to episode of the year.
Well, I'm glad they can pick because I sure as heck couldn't because everybody we interviewed this year was rock stars,
So
rock
amazing.
stars.
I love being able to talk to such magical people and to pick their brain and to hear them talk. I had so much fun with everybody. They're just
I was just
fantastic,
humbled that they offered us their time.
right? Seriously. So, the most listened to episode, our most popular interviewee
What
was
is it?
Ness Bosch.
Love
I
her.
do too. Ness is fantastic. But her episode was, like I said, about fifth or sixth most listened to episode and the most listened to interview of the year.
We got to bring her back.
We should. She's got another book that just came out, and you know me and Bones. I'm happy to go down that path anytime.
Bones and books. Geez, add a little journaling to that, and boom, you got Layla.
That's right. That's how you summon Layla into a circle. Throw a little weed on top, and poof, I'm there. So, yeah, so our listeners definitely had some clear favorites for sure.
I do want to say I feel like I've hit the big time in 2025. I come up with these outlandish things sometimes and they take off. Our itchy asshole spell made it into someone's freaking book. Like,
That's true.
how cool is that? So please, Layla, give us the deets. Tell me the book, tell me the author. And I do want to again point out that this was actually sent to us as a gift, not as something that we were asked to review in any way, shape, or form. This was just a plain old gift. And thank you for adding the itchy asshole spell. We're honored.
So, Dharma sent us these books. Dharma Kelleher is the author, and the book is called Desert Magic. Now, I'm a book whore. We all know this.
They've seen your posts from past Sacred Spaces when you were at the used bookstore vendor place, okay?
It was only like 35 books or something. It's not that
Yeah, and I only
many.
got 5 tarot decks in the last 12 days.
Okay, I see your point.
Yeah.
Anyway, so of course I was thrilled. I do love fiction. I love a good kick-ass heroine, and this book promised both. Plus, it's set in like a witchy world. How fun is that? When we got these books, Dharma had emailed us and mentioned that we had been an inspiration, which I'm humbled, and that's pretty awesome. But I didn't realize when she said that she meant like literally.
Like Chicago, you're the inspiration kind of inspiration.
Right? So the itchy asshole spell is chapter one. It's right in chapter one, and it also is mentioned later. So I love it. Fun book. Very good. I'm only on chapter 14 currently, but it's good. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, so I have a message for Dharma because I know she also is a listener. All right, so this says book 1. Okay, where's book 2?
I just saw on her Facebook that book two's almost done. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I'm not trying to rush you, but
Where's book two? So yeah, I will be
just
done
saying.
with this one, and book two better be coming out ASAP. Just saying, Dharma.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Love you.
Yeah. So, okay, considering that when I sit down to read this book, I very often have a mug of tea in my hand because it's wintertime and I like to be cozy.
Tea in one hand, pre-roll in the other.
That's right. And the biggest tea mug I currently have
Oh my God.
is
Oh
my
my
current
God.
favorite from Gnarly Knot.
I just love these two mugs.
Yeah, I can fit like 2.5 cups of regular tea in that puppy, and that makes me happy. I don't have to get up and refill it. I can just stay on the couch, all snuggled up, read my book, smoke my joint, drink my tea.
Now, Layla,
Yeah,
we got an email.
we did.
Let's talk about the email.
Okay, this is from the lovely Matt, who is half of the artistic duo with his wife Esther. Hi, Esther, from Gnarly Knot. I also saw on their website that they do gaming sets, and I know you're gonna call me a nerd, but I do play D&D, and I'm gonna have to have them make me like a little dice rolling tray. I'm so excited.
Such a geek. Layla's a geek, everybody.
It's true. It's so true. All right, so on one of our episodes where we reviewed this lovely gift,
Which I had the pleasure to meet Matt when he came to Salem.
we talked about the insert that had the warnings on it, what you shouldn't do, including you should not light them on fire and you should not run over them with a car.
Why every warning has a story, but
That's right.
I wasn't ready for these.
No, we figured and we jokingly said, is there a story? These are oddly specific, Matt. Could you give us the backstory?
Elaborate, my friend.
Oh, he did. Matt says, do not light them on fire.
Okay, well, it's wood,
You'd
logical.
think. Matt says about 10 to 12 years ago, we used to make wooden shot glasses. Notice the past tense.
Used to.
We had a group of guys in for a bachelor party, and they bought all of our shot glasses as gifts. They went out to the campgrounds that night and did some ceremonial drinking. The next morning, they brought the shot glasses back to have us repair the damage they had done, which prompted several questions. Turns out, they didn't just do shots, but flaming shots.
Okay, let me stop Matt at bachelor party and camping.
Yeah.
Okay,
How did you not know what was coming?
right.
And apparently, bachelor party attendees also thought Matt should have taken more responsibility because when he asked them whatever possessed them to light wooden shot glasses on fire, they replied, well, you didn't tell us not to. So now it's on the insert and everyone knows, do not light the wooden stuff on fire.
All right, kids, these are where warnings come from.
That's right. The car warning is far less aggravating, but oddly, because they sell them at festivals, he says they've had several that have fallen under people's cars' tires while they're packing up. So it happens.
We know. We understand you're trying to cram everything in that car and get that door to shut and you're pushing and shit's falling out and you just I get that. I get that.
It's a festival type of that's something you expect. However, there's a little more to this story.
Pray tell.
He also says that at one of these festivals, someone put a mug under their car tire on purpose because they had gotten stuck in the mud, and that strong wooden mug under the tire allowed them to get the car unstuck out of the mud and safely out of the festival.
My go-to would have been cat litter, but okay.
Well, you're at a festival. How often do you have cat litter in your car?
Why would I use a mug? Here we are.
Because that's what you got. So apparently the only damage in these cases was typically the handle falling off. But one mug did rescue a mud-stuck festival goer. So here to the mugs. Thank you, Gnarly Knot, for letting us know the history of these warnings.
And if you are interested in your own very special, spectacular Gnarly Knot mug, remember, Gnarly Knot spelled both with K's.
That's right. So those are some of our favorite things. We had a blast at Brushwood. This is one of the first years you were able to come, and we got to do workshops together, and we got to wander around our old stomping grounds of Brushwood Folklore Center.
That was probably my top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Brushwood all the way. From you and I making a magically curated playlist to play DJ Chelle and Laylla.
I still listen to that playlist.
To workshops, which by the way, you should tag that playlist into this episode for folks. But that and our workshops and just being there's something to be said for A, the festival vibe, and B, being with a group of magical people.
1,000, 1,500 of your closest magical witchy friends all in one place.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's like going home. And it was that in
Yeah.
every way. And yeah, my top five for the year, all brushwood stuff, right down to everybody seems to love the photo of you and I in front of the porta
Yeah. The porta
potty. The
potties.
like
Why do the porta potties have the best light, really?
it
I
is a
mean,
great picture. It is a great picture.
2025 Brushwood was also one of my absolute highlights of the year. Always is. And I'm very much looking forward to 2026. You and I were just talking about Brushwood 2026 and working on getting time off, hoping to spend both festivals, Sankofa and Sirius Rising, working on our workshop proposals. Now, we haven't talked about Brushwood in months. Months.
No.
There was a lovely person, one of many people that I met at Brushwood this past year. Now, I've met him before briefly, but we got to know each other a little bit better. He emailed me out of the blue the same day that you and I were talking about Brushwood.
Oh, that's okay, okay.
Just a complete lovely coincidence, but just more
The
proof.
message in that is Layla and Chelle, Sankofa, and Sirius Rising 2026. Be
That's
there.
right. We're going to do not only workshops, but we have a fabulous ritual proposal. We're not going to tell you anything yet. As it gets closer, we'll give you more details, but it's going to be pretty kick ass.
And Layla gave me the DJ bug, so I'm making her sign us up for some more DJ Chelle and Layla
Hell
time.
yes. That's going to be so good. Usually, when I DJ, I like to do a story, I like to have a theme. And last year, Shell and I had such a good time with it. We're going to do it again this year. So, if you have any theme suggestions for our upcoming DJ stint at Brushwood, let us know.
Email.
Back on the broomstick at gmail.com. So I just want to give a shout out to JP and Alex. Love you guys. And thank you for letting me know where the antlers ended up because those are near and dear to my heart. I think that's fabulous that they're part of your witchy decor. So thank you for the email too. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys this coming summer.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention we got so many letters this year and so many gifts and so many presents. And guys, I don't think you understand A, how much that touches Layla and I's heart, how humbling it is for us. I'll open things and I'll be so excited and send, I'll text Layla, send her pictures, and like we'll be like crying together via text. How just taken aback we are by all the love you guys show us. And from the absolute depths of our hearts, we want to say thank you for all of the love, the letters, the emails, the messages, every single thing that you guys have done for us in 2025.
Thank you so much. You guys have really made this an amazing couple of years. Now, festivals and meeting you all in person has to definitely be at the top of my list.
I got way more selfies with listeners than you did. Ha,
You
ha, ha.
did. You did. You work in a witchy pagan
Ha, ha, ha,
place.
ha, ha.
And people were really, really amazing at doing the where's Shell and finding you at your witchy shop.
And everybody was so wonderful and respectful about me being on the clock, too.
Yeah, our listeners are just the best. And seeing you guys at Pagan Pride this year, Syracuse Pagan Pride, for Crystal City Circle, and for Back on the Broomstick. Oh my gosh, it's just fantastic. And Sacred Space people, even though we won't be presenting at Sacred Space this year, I'm still hoping to try and go. The Between the Worlds Sacred Space is such an amazing special event.
An amazing lineup as well.
Fabulous. So not only is that something that I cherish from 2025, but it's also something I'm very much looking forward to for 2026. And meeting you guys is at the top of my list for things I'm looking forward to for 2026.
And again, for like the 30th year in a row, I'm also glad that you and I are just chugging along, living this life, and doing it together. So thanks, Layla. Love
Thank
you.
you. Holy shit, Shell. I freaking love you. This is a lot. An episode a week. It's a lot. I am super fucking thankful for you and that you put in the time for this. And working a full-time job and trying to put out a podcast, which is also like a full-time job. And there's a lot of full-time jobs that go behind the scenes to doing a podcast. This is a lot of work. And the fact that you and I are still doing this every week for the last 3 years, 3 years, that's
Oh
some
my
kick-ass
God.
work, Shell. Kick-ass work.
But
Thank
because it's
you.
you and I, it doesn't feel like work. And I
No,
think that's
that's
maybe
true.
sometimes what folks don't get is this is just as much therapeutic for us as it is for them.
Yeah. A labor of love, that's for sure.
Now, speaking of anniversaries, you said it, 3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Yep. Our 3rd year anniversary will be February 3rd. So, right after Imbolc, right after my birthday, both of which are on February 1st, is Back on the Broomstick's 3rd birthday, 3rd year anniversary. But one of the things I'm most proud of for 2025 will be having its 1st anniversary in 2026, and that is helping to form Crystal City Circle, the pagan community that I helped to start. And meeting all of these people has been a labor of love and absolutely freaking phenomenal. And I have to say a huge, huge thanks to
To
Shannon.
Shannon.
You are a freaking amazing powerhouse of a human being and a phenomenal witch. Thank you for being on this journey with me. It's fantastic. And thank you to everybody in Crystal City Circle. I am blown away all the time at your enthusiasm, your energy, and at all the wonderful things that we are doing, both in 2025 and looking forward to 2026.
And I have a message for everybody in the Crystal City Circle. Careful what you wish for, because there may come a time real soon, my friends, where you might just show up to one of your Crystal City events and, oh my God, here's Shell. Just saying.
Woohoo!
If it's any consolation, I am going to say something to you and our listeners from Crystal City Circle. I got something up my sleeve, but I'm keeping it a secret from Layla. Ha!
Oh, wow. Wow, that's rare.
Upstate New York, be prepared.
Be prepared.
I'm coming to visit.
So some surprises in store for our 2026. I like it. Now, last thing,
What?
before we move on to 2026, I want to talk about something that is both a joy and an oh my fucking God from 2025.
Oh boy, well, that doesn't really narrow it down, TBH.
Yeah, that's true. We're going to keep it to Back on the Broomstick related things and not go into anything bigger than that.
There's very few things that can ruffle you, so lay it on us, Layla.
The Etsy shop.
Ah,
I
you
love it and
know,
I hate it. I'm just saying.
everything does come with growing pains, and like you and I are like a two chick thing here, and we're just muddling through, and you are doing fabulous, first of all.
Thank you. And the only thing that bothers me about it is it's been a learning curve. I had no idea how many fees and everything go on behind the scenes. It's my own fault. I kind of screwed us in the beginning. I didn't realize how many fees would get taken and how much of a difference there was between what they charged for shipping and how much shipping actually cost. So yeah, we're still in the red on the Etsy shop, but I like it.
Kinks, we're working
Yeah,
on it.
we're working on it. We're getting there. So yeah, so that one's kind of a yay and a.
Well, I have made a couple purchases on it, and what I can say is the sweatshirts, I love them so much. The ornaments, my faves. I am a tote bag fan, and I think you did kick ass, and I think the
Thank you.
listeners would back me up on that. And yeah, there's kinks, and I understood, and I think the listeners understand, and I think we've worked them out. If there's new kinks down the road, we get it, man. We get it. You're busting ass, and we love you for it.
Well, thank you. And I think that's kind of the thing that I love about Back on the Broomstick, about our listeners, about us, about everything is that this has been a lot of fun. And yeah, it's been a learning curve and there's been a lot of learning here, but that's part of what's been making it interesting and fun is the growth and the learning and all the sharing. And yeah, it's been pretty awesome.
I feel like we're Planet Fitness, man. This is like a judgment-free zone.
All right, I can get into that. Okay, I'm down. I'm trying to find a joke in there and I can't. So I'm going to just move on to 2026. We're going to say. So, all right, we've talked about our favorite things, maybe one of our not so favorite things. And I am very much excited about our 3rd-year anniversary. Super stoked.
New year. This is a new beginnings year as far as numerology.
That's right.
Like, I think not only for you and I personally and together, but everybody as a whole, I think this is going to be the year of being on the upswing.
I love it. And, because you and I are such tarot people, I think pulling tarot cards is a fabulous idea. I have this idea for a tarot card that walks with you for the year, a tarot card that's your touchstone, something that you can turn to for 2026 to kind of be your guide, be your mentor, walk by your side. So I call it Walk With Me, and it's a Walk With Me divination spell. And we're going to get into that in a minute. But first, I thought maybe you and I could pull cards for each other to be a card for the year. So I'll pull a card for you that'll be your 2026 card, and you'll pull one for me that'll be mine.
Okay, and for you, I am going to pull from my brand new Wisdom of the Owl Tarot.
Oh, I chose the Wise Earth Medicine Tarot for your card. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
One,
Two,
two,
three.
three.
Death.
Temperance. Oh, well, I got the Death card. Your card is Temperance.
Death. I freaking love dragonflies.
Right? I know dragonflies are one of our things. The Temperance card in the Wise Earth Medicine, it is the dragonfly. And this card says that your year, it's telling me that your 2026 is going to be a year of needing a little bit of patience, needing to find your patience. But this is going to be a year where you have a lot of ups and downs. I feel like you're going to find that peace within and be able to traverse this year that's going to have a lot of challenges for you in a good way, I think, but it's going to require a lot of your attention and require some juggling for you. So you're going to need that inner peace to be able to get through that. So Temperance is the card that walks with you for 2026.
All right, you got death. I'm sorry.
I'm kind of excited about that. I don't see death as a bad card.
Super funny because on this particular card, the owl is wearing a skull bone as a necklace. And anytime I see bones, I always think of you. My first impression of this card is getting rid of the clutter in your life. I don't want to say necessarily shedding the things that don't serve you, because that's not always the right path, but kind of decluttering your life. You need like the spring cleaning of life is kind of how it comes across. How we always talk about spring cleaning your house and your space. You need to kind of spring clean your life is the vibe I get from this. When I look at the companion book for the Wisdom of the Owls, it says, there is no death, there is no rebirth. In order to emerge as a new person, you need to let go of the parts that no longer serve your future vision. What do you have to put to rest and release so that you can transform in the person you want to be and live the life you want to live? So the book literally goes with, you need to spring clean your life is what I get from this card. Shed what you need to shed and focus on the path at hand without getting pulled by people, things, and places and directions that don't serve you.
Yeah, that's a good lesson for 2026. Now, before we get into how our listeners can do a walk with me to pick a card to be their touchstone for the year, I'll pull a rune for Back on the Broomstick for the podcast.
Ooh, I'll pull out the card.
All right, and we'll see what's in store for the podcast for 2026.
Interesting.
All right, so I pulled a rune, and I got Thurisaz, which is the thorn.
I was going to say, tell us exactly what that means.
Well, Thurisaz, this is the thorn and the shield. This is the rune that can be challenges, and sometimes you need a weapon and a shield. So this is saying there's going to be some challenges for Back on the Broomstick going forward, going into 2026. But probably not anything that we can't handle.
So the card I pulled, and again, I'm using that Wisdom of the Owls deck, the Knight of Wands. On this particular card, it depicts a owl that is in like a think like medieval knight armor and is carrying a lizard in its talons. Are they talons with owls or are they just claws? I don't know. Holding it with its feet, we'll say that. So, when I kind of first look at this, I get that sense of doing what you need to do, getting things done. If you have a plan, follow it, stick with it, work with it. Now, when I pull it up in the accompanying book, it says, take flight and follow your passion. You put time and study into your craft. Now be prepared to make the first move. Let's do this.
I love that. And going with that, Thurisaz as the rune can also be Thor's hammer Mjolnir. It's power, it's thresholds. It can also be transformation. So I think the tarot card is saying to make change, to kind of hold on and that things are happening, right?
Make big, bold actions. Don't hold back. Give it everything you got.
Yeah.
And I think that the rune and the card can kind of intertwine with each other.
I think so too. It's breaking down barriers. It's protecting, but it's also bold magic. It's being a loud voice. It's being daring and challenging. And who are we if not fuck around and find out witches? So
Take the leap.
that's right. Interestingly, also this year, both of us, our birthdays are full moons this year.
When I saw that, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Pretty
Like,
wild.
what are the chances? What are the chances that you and I both have our birthdays on a full moon?
My birthday is coming up very, very quickly, February 1st, and it is in bulk and a full moon, so that's very exciting. Chelle's birthday,
There's a blue
summertime.
moon.
Blue moon, fabulous, phenomenal, gorgeous blue moon.
Only blue moon of the year. It's 'cause of me,
Really?
man.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's because you are unique and special. The moon has to be unique and special as well.
So, when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, our birthdays are both on full moons. I'm like, if that isn't the greatest sign for 2026, I
Right?
don't know what is.
Very cool. We've got our cards for the year. We've got the podcast cards for the year. I am now going to tell you how you, our listeners, can get a card for the year.
Tell us, tell us.
I gotcha. This is called the Walk With Me divination. What I'd like you to do is to pick a representation of each element. Something simple. Air, fire, water, earth. It can be just a little stone, a small glass of water, a little bit of incense or herb for air, maybe a little candle, or even just something red to represent fire. Keep it simple. Choose a tarot deck and just have these in front of you. Then I want you to get into as deep of a magical meditation space as you can. Get yourself into alpha. Whatever you need to do to get your brain into magical meditative space. Once you're there, shuffle the cards as much or as little as you like. And when you're ready, when you feel that moment that, oh yeah, the cards are ready, I want you to pick 4, either from the top, the bottom, the middle, however you want to pick 4, and put one face down in front of each of the elemental tokens that you've chosen. Then I want you to start flipping them over one at a time. Flip over the air card, take a look at it, fire card, water card, earth card. Each one will have something to teach you for the year in relationship to that element. But the card that's yours to walk with for the year, there will be no mistaking it. You will get an immediate feeling, oh yeah, that's my card. You'll know. Whichever one, either you're like, oh, I like this one best, or you get that feeling or that tingle, or it falls out weird, you'll know. That's your card to walk with for the year. So you've got different lessons for each of the elements to take with you into 2026. And one of those cards will be the card that's your touchstone that you can look to that has a major lesson for you for 2026. Chelle's lesson is temperance. She needs patience. My lesson is death. I need to let some things go. So you'll find what your lesson is. What card will you walk with for 2026?
I'm just grateful that you didn't tell me that my lesson was to stop buying tarot. Thank you.
Never, 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 never. I'm pretty sure that you keep a couple of these shops in business, completely solvent with your tarot buying. So, not going to tell you to
I
stop.
am doing my civic duty, ma'am.
Right. Going forward, now that we have 2026, what are you looking forward to most? What do you want to do in 2026, Shell?
I know this is going to sound crazy, but I want to spend even more time with tarot this year. And honestly, I want to take everybody along on that ride with me.
I am very much looking forward to more in-person events this year. I am doing a lot with Crystal City Circle. We have monthly workshops. We have Sabbats and Esbats.
You have like craft groups too, you lucky girl.
We do, and a book group and a book club that you're going to join.
I am actually, yeah.
But I'm also very much looking forward to workshops and festivals with the greater pagan community, with listeners, our local people, but all of the witches. I'm very much looking forward to Brushwood, especially this year. Pagan Pride, both hopefully locally as well as up in Syracuse. Conferences, all of them. I cannot wait to get out there and to learn from and talk to and just do all the things with all the magical people.
But you know what? I'm also equally excited to keep doing this.
I would like to do more of this. And speaking of tarot and more of this podcasting thing, you have been a little obsessed and you've kind of had some fantastic ideas of some things that you want to do. So, what's this cool tarot idea that you've been cooking up?
I have an idea where I want to get some listeners in on it. And as a group, let's work on some tarot together. You guys with me and Layla, like, heck, I'd hang out with you without tarot, but add you and tarot, like, how fun. And this is the year that tarot's blowing up. And I want to bring everybody along the ride with me and you on a brand new tarot journey.
This goes along with my hope of doing video and more lives, maybe some group discussions, some roundtables, but some live online things with our listeners. So I think this tarot thing is working right into that as well.
Good things for us for 2026, and everybody's going to enjoy it, and they're going to be right alongside us every step of the way.
All right. Well, that being said, we're going to close out this episode with a spell to help you carry that momentum from 2025 and bring it into 2026 with all of your wonderful plans, all of our wonderful plans. And this is a momentum spell. Very simple. So you're going to take a candle and make sure that you have an oil, something that's got like rosemary. Rosemary is one of those herbs that if you need a spell that's going to, like a year-long spell, you need something to kick you in the butt, rosemary is awesome. It's also good for clarity. Put a little cinnamon in there, which is also a little bit of fire, something to kick you in the ass and keep you going. And then also, this might be a little hard for some people, but see if you've got a little bit of incense ash or maybe spell ash or a little bit of oil or something from a spell or a working that you did in 2025. So if you got a little pile of ash you've been saving for black salt, that would work perfectly. But something from a spell working you did last year. So take those herbs or oils, rub your candle with it, dress the candle with these herbs.
I can't even tell you or the listeners the visual I'm getting with this right now, but continue.
We're not going to go there. But so dress the candle, then place the candle in front of you and light it. As you light it, as it starts to burn, name 3 things from 2025 that you appreciate and you want to bring forward. My friendship with Chelle, this fabulous podcast, and Crystal City Circle. So 3 things, and they're not necessarily the only things you're thankful for, but just name 3 things that you want to bring with you from 2025 to 2026. Then, after you've appreciated those for a moment, name 1 thing you're releasing.
I'm going to go broad on this one. I'm releasing the bullshit.
Ooh, releasing the bullshit. I love it.
All encompassing.
Covers so many things.
It really does.
I'm releasing the bullshit, orange colored or otherwise. And so let the candle burn for a little bit while you think about those things, while you think about the things you're bringing forward, something you started or something you had in 2025, 3 things that you want to carry with you. 1 you're letting go. So as you contemplate those things, just sit with it for a bit and gaze into the candle. Then put out the candle, however you prefer to, and keep it on your altar. once a month, can be any day. So if you forget until the 31st, that's okay. Just light the candle once a month, and that will help you to carry that energy. That's going to carry the energy of those three things.
What if I burn it out before the end of the year? What if it's a short candle?
Then, just like in a money bowl, pop another candle on top of that wax and keep on trucking. It's a perpetuation spell, so the candle is perpetual. Either start with a candle that's big enough that you can burn it for a few minutes a month throughout the year, or take another candle with the intention that it continues the spell, perpetual continues, and put it on top of the old one. You can even light the new candle with the flame of the old one before putting the new candle into the wax of the old one. It's perpetual, keeps going.
Genius.
Yeah, I'm so smart. But yeah, you can choose a big candle, you can choose little candles, and you can just keep adding to it, kind of like a money bowl. But the idea is to carry that momentum, that momentum builds, and that momentum is carried in that flame. And every time you light it, it reignites the idea that this energy that you loved in 2025 and still need in 2026 is reignited.
I love that. I love that so much. One thing I might do, because, once I light it, I want to watch it for a while. I might go ahead and anoint 4 candles and basically every season swap it out. But then they're all anointed at the same time with the same energy, blah, 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 blah. And then they're already dressed and ready when you need them.
I love that change. And that made me think of one too. You can anoint them when you first do the spell. And then when you're ready at the next season to add that candle to the melted portion of the first candle, maybe you could write a sigil on it.
Carve something into it.
Yeah, because now, at the beginning of the year, you have one idea of how your year is going to play out.
But you may add to that.
Yeah, and then you can add to it. Now you've reevaluated. The first quarter's gone. You're ready to light that second quarter candle. Maybe put a little sigil in there to bring a new energy that you need.
But having been anointed all together in the beginning, they all start with that same foundational energy.
I love it. I love it. And see, this is why changing spells to personalize it for you is so important and is so good, because you come up with such fabulous things and you can add it and make it so much more personal to you and so much more meaningful. And that's what's going to activate your magical brain to get these spells to actually affect change in the world.
And that's why I love magic.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening to our 2025 retrospective and all the things we're looking forward to in 2026. Let us know, what are you excited about in 2026 for yourself? And what are you excited to see from us? What are you looking forward to? What do you hope we touch on?
If you have any ideas, any suggestions, anything you're dying for us to do an episode about, email us backonthebroomstick@gmail.com.
I'm actually going to call out one of our listeners real quick, because someone just recently did email us with a request for an upcoming episode. And that would be from Jordan. Jordan emailed us and said, I was wondering if you could do an episode or feature on Aphrodite in your deity series.
Ooh, good idea.
Now, Jordan has done a self-love spell and it looks beautiful. They've also sent us a gorgeous picture. I'm going to share my screen so you can see it. 1 second. Isn't that pretty?
Ooh, I love that.
And I've been wanting to talk about glamour magic. So I think we're going to take Jordan's idea. We're going to add into our list of upcoming episodes. I think we should do an episode on Aphrodite and love deities and maybe some glamour magic.
Great idea. I love it. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan. See how easy that was? Email us your ideas. What are you looking forward to? Let us know. backonthebroomstick@gmail.com. And of course, please, 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 please like, subscribe, give us a review, give us some stars. It really helps the show out. It helps people to find us. And Chelle and I very much appreciate it. It makes us cackle like little witches.
So guys, that's your Back on the Broomstick wrap for 2025. We want you walking into 2026 wise, wicked,
and keeping it witchy.